Yeah, good morning, friends. Welcome back. Okay, so this is our first demo session on the Linux administration course. Okay, couple of days we'll just go in some basic way. We'll just try to see some, basics of Linux. We'll try to understand what we're going to learn in Linux. Okay, what is Linux and how important is Linux? Okay, these are some of the questions we'll try to address in our starting couple of days. Okay, so once we move into the regular classes, that will be after tomorrow, or at least from tomorrow, we'll go in a normal way. Okay, so as of now, this is the first demo session. Okay, and every session we will record here, and every recording will be provided to you. Fine. Another thing here is whenever you have any doubt, any question, chat box is always open there. Feel free to send your questions in the chat box. Fine. Okay, so let us see what is this Linux administration, why it is so important for every IT person to learn this Linux administration course. Okay, so first of all, Linux is also a operating system, right? Like Windows, that is what we use. Linux is also an operating system that is interface between a user and a hardware. But what is the difference between a Linux operating system and some other operating systems? Linux operating system is majorly designed to run on servers, okay? And Linux operating system has many more advantages compared to the other operating systems which are available in the market. So let us try to see the different types of operating systems that we have. And let us try to compare them. Then only we can understand why Linux is so much in demand. Okay, fine. If you go and see in details, actually there are two major types of operating systems we see. One is your client operating system, okay? And the other one is actually your server operating system, okay? And whenever we talk about operating systems, we talk about two companies. One is Windows, Microsoft Windows, and another one is Unix or Linux. These are the two major companies that design your operating systems, Windows and Linux. See, the client operating system is available from Windows, and the same Windows company, they provide you the server operating system also. Linux people, they provide you the server operating system, as well as we have some client distributions from Linux. So both these companies, they provide you with both the different types of operating systems. But friends, whenever you talk about the Linux, whenever you talk about the client operating system, we simply talk about Windows clients like Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows 10, or Windows 11. The latest one is Windows 11. So across the globe, see any computer or any laptop, at least 90 to 95% cases, in a desktop or in a laptop, we will see Windows client. Windows 10 or Windows 11. As of now, Windows 10 or Windows 11. I am saying 90 to 95% cases. So coming to the client operating systems, Windows servers are the market leaders. Anyway, there is no competition actually. There is no competition for Windows client operating systems in our desktops and laptops. They are indeed the market leaders. Okay. Now, coming to the server operating system, in server operating system, there is some competition between Linux and Windows. Okay. But here also, although there is a competition, but still, Linux is having the upper hand. 80 to 85% cases across the globe, when you see a server, you will see a server with the Linux operating system. When you go to the internet, whatever servers are running on the internet, some billions of servers are running over the internet, right? Every application is running on a server. Every web server is running on a server. So how many web servers are there? Millions and millions or even billions of web servers are there across the globe. So each and every web server is running on a server operating system. And majority of cases, that is approximately 85% cases, a web server will be running on a Linux server operating system. Okay, so like I said to you, my friend, although there is a Windows Server operating system, but to run certain applications like a web server or an email server, a file server, a database server, or any banking application or any gaming application, the most preferable operating system is the Linux server operating system. Okay. So what about Windows? Where exactly the Windows servers are famous? See, in Windows servers, there is a concept called Active Directory, AD. In last, 2 decades or 3 decades from 1990s till today. So overall, like 4 decades, Windows servers are famous for this particular concept, Active Directory. This is a Windows proprietary service. Active Directory service we can install and configure only on Windows machines. So this particular service is so famous that, every company within the local area network. See, there are two types of networks. One is called local area network and the other one is wide area network. Local area network means your company's network and wide area network is your internet. So within the local area network, it is very hard to imagine a company running without Active Directory. Okay, over the internet, applications are running. Within the company, Active Directory is running. So can we install Active Directory on any other server beside Windows servers? Answer is no. It is a Cisco, it is a Windows proprietary service. So it can be installed only on the Windows servers. And the Windows server can be any version. Like the latest one is 2022. If you go with 2019 or if you go with 2016, before 2016 there was something called 2012, 2008. All these versions are outdated. As of now, Microsoft people, they are supporting Microsoft Windows Server 2016, 2019 and 2022. These are the only servers available in the market. Okay, and you will be getting recorded sessions of Windows Server 2022 only, the latest one. So if you know how to work on Windows Server 2022, if you know how to configure Active Directory on Windows Server 2022, and in case if you join a company where they are still using 2019 and 16, you will be more than eligible to work on those previous versions or previous editions of Windows servers. There will not be any issue for you for sure. Okay, so Windows Server is majorly famous for this, that is Active Directory. But beside this, for every other application, Linux server is the market leader. Linux server is the most demanding operating system. So see here, web server, mail server, file server, game server, banking server. Okay. So whichever server or whichever company's server you go with or whichever company's application you go with, they will prefer the Linux operating system. But why? Why they are preferring this Linux operating system over the Windows Server operating system to run their application? There should be some reason, right? When I say 85% or let's say 85 to even 90%, why that many companies are, preferring this particular Linux operating system over Windows? Okay, so that we'll try to understand now. But as of now, I hope it is clear. There are majorly two types of operating systems. One is your client operating system and one is your server operating system. Client operating system is for your laptops, okay, and the desktops. But whereas coming to the server operating system, they are specially designed to run on this server machine. So whether you go with a physical server or whether you go with a virtual server over the cloud, we have Windows servers as well as the Linux servers. Okay. Now, let us try to see why these Linux servers are so famous, why they are in so much in demand. See here, friends, to begin with, your Linux server is an open source server operating system. Now, what exactly is the meaning of open source? Open source means, you can take the Linux server, you can redesign the Linux server according to your convenience, according to your requirement, according to your company's requirement. You can redesign the Linux operating system. You can make all the necessary changes that you want. Open source, it is completely free for you. It is completely open for you. Okay, no one will ask you like why you're making these changes. Okay, so we'll go with this open source in more details in coming sessions. But as of now, what is the meaning of open source? It is available for any person. Let's say you are starting a business today, or you're working for a company, and let's say that company is starting a business today, and in that company, let us say you need totally 3,000 servers. Okay, it's very rare that you see a company that is starting the business directly with 3,000 servers. So let us go with like 300 servers. More practical here. So they are starting a business and they need 300 servers. And in this 300 servers, they have installed the Linux operating system. So they can simply take the Linux operating system for free and they can install it. First of all, it is free and it is open source. What is free? Free means there is no need to pay any money. And what is open source? After taking that Linux operating system, they can redesign it. They can make some changes in according to their convenience. Like I said, they can make some changes inside this Linux operating system. Now, is it possible to make changes in the Windows operating system? In the architecture of Windows operating system? I'm not saying configuration. Is it possible to make changes in the architecture? Absolutely no. It is not possible. It is there with Windows people only. Whenever they release a new version, whenever they release a new edition, they will make changes from their side and they will release and they will say, okay, now this is the architecture of this Windows Server operating system. Use it like it is. But in Linux, no, my friend. Maybe probably there are some thousands of Linux operating systems available across the globe as of today. Thousands of different operating systems. But if there are thousands of operating systems available, what about you and me? We are the Linux administrator. How can we work on the different versions? How can we work on the different distributions? See, it will not be difficult for sure. If you know one Linux server operating system, how to use it or how to operate it, you can easily work on all the other Linux server operating systems. Some minor changes will be there. Okay, so overall you can manage them and overall you can work them. Okay, so anyhow, as of now, open source means it is a operating system that is available as a source code. You can take that particular source code and you can redesign the operating system for yourself, or you can go to a company like Red Hat or maybe Ubuntu or maybe SUSE or maybe CentOS. There are some, these are some of the very famous companies. They have already taken this open source and they have designed this as Red Hat, or they have designed this as a Ubuntu Linux. Got it? So this is what open source is all about. It is a free operating system. That is one point. And the other point, it is an open source operating system. That means anyone can take the source code of Linux and anyone can redesign or redevelop that particular operating system. By, in that limitations only, they can make a lot of changes there. Okay. Now, it is hardware independent. This is one of the best feature again. Linux servers can be installed on any sort of hardware, any type of hardware. There are no restrictions here. There are absolutely no restrictions. You can go with any hardware there. Minimum hardware, you can go with like 1 GB or 2 GB RAM also. That is also quite possible. Okay. Whenever you take your operating system should be multi-user and multitasking. Okay, as of now in the year 2024, whatever operating systems are available, every operating system is actually multi-user and multitasking. Multi-user means at the same time, tens or hundreds and thousands of people can connect to the server and they can work. Multitasking means every user can perform different tasks. So all these people are connected to one server here. They are connected to this one server from their locations, from any physical location, and every person can do a particular task, or every person can do 2, 3, 4 tasks. So this is called multitasking. And this multi-user multitasking will not affect your performance of your server. It will be super fine. It will be super smooth. There will not be any issue. There will not be any issue with the performance of your server operating system or server machine. Now, the other operating system that we have in market is your Windows, right? What about in Windows servers? Is it multi-user and multitasking? Of course, it is multi-user and multitasking. But the problem in the Windows is there is a limitation for the multi-user. If you want to cross that limitation, you have to pay money and you have to take license from the Microsoft people. There is a limitation. Multitasking, you can do multitasking, but once you start doing multitasking things on a Windows server, it will start, consuming more resources of your hardware. It will start consuming more resources of your server hardware. Then, the server performance will go down. Or you can take, more hardware. For example, in this machine, you can take, let's say 128 GB RAM for Windows. Then multitasking can be like, perfectly fine. But coming to Linux operating system, the same multitasking we can do by, let's say, taking only 16 GB RAM. See how much difference is here now? For Windows, you need 128 GB RAM, and for Linux, you need only 16 GB RAM. Multitasking is possible in both the cases, but where it is much better? It is much better in Linux. Got it? This is your multi-user and multitasking option available in your Windows servers, but majorly in Linux, it is much better. See, whenever we talk about resources, remember one thing, the resources are not free. When I say 128 GB RAM or when I say 16 GB RAM, we have to pay money and we have to use these resources, right? Maybe you're taking these resources as completely physical resources, or maybe you're taking these resources in the form of a virtual setup. Whatever the way you take, my friend, these resources are not free. We have to pay and we have to use these resources. So over the cloud, we are paying money. Or if you go with your on-premise physical network, we have to pay money and we have to bring all the resources. So as a cloud administrator or as a server administrator, always remember one thing. One of our responsibility is to manage our resources. We should not use more resources unnecessarily. Whatever server needs, that much should be there, but we should not allow a server to go with high resources or more resources. Okay, fine. So this is something that we need to understand. Now, CLI and GUI. CLI is command line interface. GUI is graphical user interface, isn't it? Command line interface and graphical user interface. Windows servers are CLI as well as GUI. Linux servers are CLI and GUI. But Windows servers are famous for graphical user interface and Linux servers are famous for command line interface. Now, as of now, if I ask you a question, in which way you are more comfortable in using your operating system? 99 out of 100 people, as a fresher, they will say GUI, graphical user interface. Fine, because everything is graphics. You can move the cursor there. You can select your options. You can say, okay, cancel, finish. All these things are there, right? So a fresher is more comfortable in GUI. But if you go and ask any administrator who is working there for like at least for like couple of years or so, if you ask him a question like where he is more comfortable in GUI or CLI, at least 90 to 95% administrators will say they are more than happy with this CLI. They are more comfortable in this CLI. CLI is much faster compared to GUI. In CLI, you will get much better output. That is, if the configuration is successful or if the configuration is having some issues, whatever the output is there, you will get much better output in CLI compared to GUI. So although Linux can be configured in GUI, but it is famous for CLI. So across the globe, hardly you see any administrator, a Linux administrator, who is configuring the Linux server through graphics. We'll simply go with this command line interface. But just for knowledge, remember one thing, graphics are also available in GUI. These graphics are added because of competition in a way. Windows servers, Windows people used to say like, okay, our server is, GUI, it is more easier to use. Then Linux people used to say like, okay, our server is all the CLI, but it is more secure, it is more reliable, it is open source, we are providing it for free. But later on they realized, okay, let us add one more feature there. That is, let us allow people to connect to the Linux server through graphics and let them do the configuration. But it was not so successful because people are already used to using Linux in CLI. Okay, so overall, CLI is what we connect. Okay, CLI is what we do in our Linux operating systems. See, lightweight operating system. Means, see, remember just now we said for Windows, if you need 128 GB RAM, the same task or the same tasks we can perform in Linux if it is only having 16 GB RAM. It's a huge difference, my friend. And we are not talking about only one server. A company will not have only one server. Okay, if there is only one server, okay, we can manage. Instead of 128 GB, we got 16 GB. So we have already saved some money. Now we are talking about tens and hundreds and thousands of servers. Just imagine on 300 servers, instead of taking 128 GB RAM, you have just taken 16 GB RAM. How much money you can save for the company, isn't it? So lightweight operating system means it can run on the least hardware also. Okay. Now available in multiple languages. So this is a option available in Windows Server as well as in Linux Server, but Linux servers have a bit more languages actually. You can choose your language and you can install your Linux server in that particular language. Okay. What it says here, it says compatible with latest technologies. It is so easy to use Linux on all the latest technologies, whether you're running your cyber security tools or ethical hacking tools or DevOps tools or any programming tools. Your Linux server operating system is designed in such a way that, it will support literally each and every technology and each and every application. You will not face any difficulty in running the technologies and the applications that are associated with that technology, are the tools that are associated with that particular technology. The only thing you need to, you know, understand here is which distribution is better for this particular tool. And whenever you're using a tool, a third-party tool or a hacking tool or a, DevOps tool or any cloud computing tool, that particular tool has a pre-requirement. They will say, okay, this particular tool will work better on Red Hat Linux, or this particular tool will work better on Ubuntu Linux. So it will not be very difficult for you to decide which particular version to go with. But overall, it is supporting literally every application that is there in the market, every tool that is there in the market, and every technology that is there in the market. Okay. Now, virus free. If someone is asking you a question, why will you go with Linux over Windows? You can say it is open source, it is free of use. Okay. And then you can say this virus free and better security. See, virus is very deadly, right? What is virus? Virus is a software that can enter into your computer or a laptop or a mobile phone or a server, and then it can destroy your data. It can destroy each and everything that is there inside your server. So if it destroys your server configuration or the server data, that means it is simply attacking your company's business. What is data? Data is your business, right? Okay, so virus can attack and it can destroy everything. So the design of Linux servers will not allow a virus to be attacked so easily. I'm not saying Linux servers are 100% virus free. I've heard some people, they are saying like Linux servers are 100% virus free. No, that's an incorrect statement, my friend. It is not 100% virus free, but compared to Windows servers, it is some millions time better than your Windows servers actually. Okay, virus can be attacked, virus can come in your Linux server, but there is an option called executable file. By default, in our Linux server, the executable options are not available. I repeat, executable options are not available, so the virus will not explode automatically. Coming to Windows, if you just double click on a file, it can explode. It can simply spread. But in Linux servers, no. As of now, approximately 100 different types of viruses were detected in Linux servers. But if you go with your Windows server, the number is not there actually. It's very hard to count the particular number. Okay, so only 100 occasions are there where a virus was detected in the Linux server. Okay, so it is not so easy for any person to, design a virus for a Linux server and then to spread that virus inside that particular server. Coming to Windows, virus can come in the Windows server, and the other thing is it can spread in the network. In case in Linux, if the virus is coming, it is limited to that particular server only. Okay, so overall, when we say virus free, it is not 100% free, but in majority of cases, we can provide better security, better, virus protection. Okay, and the last feature that you can talk about the features of Linux is it is about the security that they provide. Now, when you talk about security, what exactly it means? Security means the security for your data, the security for your operating system, the security for the applications that are running on that operating system. What is the work of a hacker? The work of a hacker is to enter inside your server without having proper permissions. So is it easy to enter in the Linux server? No. Whenever someone is becoming a hacker or tries to become a hacker, see, ethical hacking is something that is, normally people say it is illegal. Learning ethical hacking is actually legal, my friend. But if you want to use it in a different way, if you want to, if you are using this to hack a different company, then it is illegal. What I can do, I can learn ethical hacking today. I can join a company, like say my company is ABC. As an ethical hacker, I can join this ABC company and I can try to hack my company. A ethical hacker will hack their own company. So once they are successfully able to hack this company, they will say, okay, this is one way using which a hacker can enter. So that particular path will be blocked. That is the actual work of ethical hacker. But you know what people do? They will learn the ethical hacking. They will learn each and everything about hacking, and they will try to hack a bank or a bank account maybe. So that is illegal. So learning hacking and working for a company is 100% legal. That is what the ethical hacking course is all about. Okay. Now, people who try to learn the ethical hacking course, the first thing they learn actually is the Linux. Without having the Linux server administration knowledge or the Linux server knowledge, no one can become the hacker for sure. If you go and see the Linux, if you go and see the uh, hacker's laptop, in that hacker laptop, you will not see Windows 10 or Windows 11. You will see an operating system with the name Kali Linux. This is the operating system famous for running the hacking tools, and this is the Linux operating system that is designed for hackers. So you will see this particular operating system there. Okay, so for a hacker, first of all, he need to learn everything about Linux server. Still, it is not easy for a hacker to hack this server because the architecture is designed in such a way it's not so easy for a hacker. And the other thing is, I have already modified something in my Linux server. Okay, so we can provide much better security in Linux servers compared to the Windows server. If I say Linux servers are 100% security, they are complete secure, they are 100% secure. Again, it is a incorrect statement. I'm not saying they are 100% secure. Nothing is 100% secure, my friend. Nothing. People have already hacked FBI website. And if you talk about India, CBI websites, they have already hacked all these things. So nothing is 100% secure here. But overall, if you analyze, Linux servers are way more secure than Windows servers. So if you're running a web application or a file application or an email application, these are some of the major applications, database applications. So whenever you talk about data of a company, you're talking about web servers, email servers, file servers, and database servers. So the first choice of every company or every administrator across the globe is to use a Linux server to run these applications. But again, the question is, once you run an application like a web server, email server, file server, database server on a Linux server, is it 100% safe and secure? Answer is no. Nothing is 100% safe and secure. My mobile phone is not 100% safe and secure. Same with your mobile phone. My laptop, same with your laptop. Okay, my bank account, same with your bank account. Okay, my company server, same with your bank, same your company server. Nothing is 100% secure. So here we need to see if it is not 100% secure, which server is providing better security or more security. Then blindly we can select our Linux servers. If not 100%, it is like, much better compared to the other server operating systems that we have in the market, especially like, Windows. The competition is there between Linux and Windows only. As of today, the competition is there between Windows server operating systems and the Linux server operating system. Third party is, very far. Like if you go with Mac or some other OS, it's very far. So there is no competition, or we cannot consider them as competitors here. The competition is actually between Windows servers and Linux servers only. So overall, whether it is in security or whether it is in, support or whether it is virus or whether it is your updates, or whether it is supporting the latest technologies, okay, and whether it is, supporting the applications, hmm, and whether it is the hardware part, in each and every aspect, my friend, Linux servers have the upper hand compared to the Microsoft Windows Server operating system. Got it? So these are some of the differences we need to understand about Linux. Now, see here. There are some distributions. Here we call it as distributions. Remember we said open source. Open source means something like a formula that open source is available. We will see from there, from where the open source is coming, who designed that open source, how we can take the open source, all these things we will see. But as of now, open source means it is a formula. By using this formula, you know what these Red Hat people have done? They have designed Red Hat Linux, Debian, Debian Linux, SUSE, SUSE Linux. I have just added very famous distributions. A distribution means different companies that are offering you the Linux server operating system. So Red Hat family is there, Debian family is there, SUSE family is there. Like this, there are some hundreds of different families, but these are the most famous. Okay, in Red Hat, we call it as RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Under Debian, Ubuntu is indeed the most famous, and so is SUSE. These are some of the Linux distributions. Okay, so what we are learning here, friends, we are learning on RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, the latest version, 9.x version. It can be 9.3, 9.4, 9.2, whatever. We'll go with this 9.x version. In companies, are they still using 8.x version? Of course, yes. Are they still using 7.x version? Of course, yes. So when you learn this 9.0 version or 9.x version, can you work on 8.x and 7.x? Of course, yes. And if you learn Red Hat Linux, RHEL 9.x version, can you work on Ubuntu? Yes. Can you work on CentOS? CentOS will be exactly same actually, but yes. Can you work on this SUSE? Yes. So although there are some hundreds and thousands of different Linux distributions available and different companies they are providing the Linux version, there is no need for us to learn everything. Okay, some minor changes will be there for sure. That is the fact we need to accept. Some minor changes will be there. In India, when you drive a car, you're sitting in the right side, right? But in some other country, you will be sitting in the left side. So there are some minor changes, but the gear, the brake, the accelerator, the whatever things are there, everything will still remain same. So some minor changes will be there. You just need to adapt to those minor changes. So we'll be learning here RHEL 9.x version, the latest version. But in any case, if you join a company, most probably you will see 8 version running in a company action. So when you see this 8 version, you are still 100% eligible to work in that company as a Linux administrator. Whatever minor changes will be there, those minor changes you can simply go through some documents or go through YouTube or Google, and you can easily work there. See, it is an open fact. We need to learn things, fine. But when you work in a company, we cannot survive without using, documents or without using Google or without using YouTube. No administrator will feed everything in their brains. No administrator can remember each and everything. Every day, at least once or twice, they will go to Google and just to search but for a particular command. I have seen administrators who are working, who are like, who started career with me some 14, 15 years before. For some basic commands also, they go to Google. Okay, so in a particular course, if you know the concept, if you are able to understand the concept, that's the main thing. practical wise, everything you will find out somewhere. Some documents will be there, or some files will be there over the Google, so it will not be difficult for you. But overall, these are some of the distributions available. And like I said to my friend, we will be learning this Red Hat Enterprise Linux. We'll be working on it. So how to install, how to download, how to install, all these things we will see in coming classes. But as of now, let us keep this and let us move and let us see some more distributions. These are some of the other very famous distributions, my friend. Say Amazon Linux, Oracle Linux, Azure Linux, Kali Linux. Like I said, the Kali Linux is famous for hacking purpose. Hmm? Azure is a Microsoft product, so they have designed a Linux called Azure Linux that you'll find easily on cloud. Oracle people also have Oracle Linux, and Amazon people have the Amazon Linux, AWS Linux. So actually, Microsoft people have the direct competition with them, right? But still, they have to provide a Linux server operating system. Oracle people also have the competition with Linux, but still they have to provide a one of the version of Linux. So these are some of the very famous operating system, Linux operating systems you will see. Once you go to cloud, you will see Amazon Linux and Azure Linux a lot. Beside RHEL and Ubuntu, you will see Amazon and Azure Linux a lot. Okay, and if someone is interested to go in the security part, cyber security or ethical hacking and all those things, then you'll be working on this Kali Linux. So once you finish our course, then you know what you can do. You can simply download Kali Linux. You can start working on Kali Linux. You can simply go with this Amazon Linux. You can work on this Amazon Linux. Although we are working or we are learning RHEL, like I said to you, my friend, you are eligible to work on any of the other distributions there. Whatever minor changes will be there, you should adapt to those minor changes. You should try to understand those changes. Again, how to do it? Just go to Google and try to search like how to do this in a, let's say, Kali Linux or Amazon Linux. You'll see some basic differences in the configuration. Use it and do it. That's it, my friend. No one is working on RHEL for last 10, 12 years. If someone is a Linux administrator, he is not working only on RHEL. He has already worked on Ubuntu there. He has already worked on Amazon Linux there. And he has already worked on, let's say, CentOS or SUSE or some other OS. So maybe someone has done RHEL Red Hat Linux course and he become a certified person in the year 2010. So in last 14 years, he has already worked on different distributions. But to work on different distributions, has he taken any training anywhere? No. He might have taken the training for RHEL in the year 2010 for sure, but he has not taken training on any other different distribution of Linux. Okay, so this is the field, this is the, path of Linux. This is some operating system that is like, the backbone of internet, backbone of every company. We simply cannot imagine ourselves moving into this particular IT industry, especially that is related with the administration, like cloud administration, DevOps or cyber security, or only server administration without learning or without understanding the concept of Linux. So just try to make one thing, just try to think like, okay, learning Linux is mandatory. That's it. So whatever we have discussed in our demo session, today was the first demo session. I hope you can relate with each and every thing now. Now you know why it is so important to learn Linux. First of all, it is free. It is open source. Okay. And then, it is virus free. It is more secure. It is virus free and it is free of cost. So it is free from both the things and it is having much better security. It is open source operating system. It is supporting all the applications. Okay. Just go and see any other application, like say Android application that we are using in our mobile phone. This software, Android software, is based on Linux. Okay. If you go with routers, switches, firewalls, they have their own operating systems. So those operating systems are again based on Linux. So there are many more operating systems that are running on top of your Linux operating system, whether it is virtualization, whether it is cloud computing, okay, whether it is, DevOps or cyber security. For everything, you need to have proper understanding and proper knowledge on this Linux servers. Okay, friends, so this was the session for today. I'm, here for like at least couple of minutes. If you have any questions, we will see, or else we'll come again tomorrow. Tomorrow is also a demo session, and probably tomorrow we'll go with some, you know, the syllabus. We'll just try to see the syllabus, what we are going to learn, and then we'll try to see some other stuff tomorrow. So couple of days, it will be only demos. We'll just go in a simple and easy way. We'll just try to, understand the basics of Linux. Then we'll just try to go and do the practicals and all the other things. It is a practical oriented course, Linux server administration. We have to do practicals from the basic level up to the advanced level. Interesting practicals will be there. Those practicals we do every day. Whatever practicals we learn on that particular day, the same thing will be done by an administrator across some, thousands of companies across the globe. Like for example, you are creating something called soft link and hard link. That will be done by, some thousands of people today itself, thousands of administrators across the globe. Okay, let's say you have created a file and you are editing that file, and that will be done by some thousands and thousands of people across the globe. So what we do here is already done by some people. They are already doing the same thing in their companies. So we are learning here, and once we join a company, that is what we do again. Okay, friends, so you can see the message there in the chat box. They have already sent the message regarding some course and all the other details. So you can go through that message. And I'm here for 30 more seconds. If there is any question, we will see. Or else we can stop the session for today and probably we'll meet again tomorrow. Like I said, every session is recorded here, but the couple of starting recorded sessions will be available on YouTube. So this session also will be uploaded on YouTube within couple of hours. So if you want to revise, we can go there. But after registering, the sessions will be provided directly to the registered people only. It will not be shared with any other person. Okay, only couple of sessions will be available on YouTube. Okay, fine. So I guess there are no questions here. So we'll stop the session here, friends, and we'll meet again tomorrow at same time, 7 a.m. India Standard Time, with more details of Linux server administration. Thanks a lot, friends. Take care. Bye.